Let's check out this kit. I got this kit from Amazon. The reason I picked this kit is it's supposed to be 1/24th scale, which is what I need for my 80s house. And as far as like photos went, it was the best looking 1/24th scale model that I could find. A lot of ones that I found, the features weren't clear. I'd like to give this one a try. I've never done any type of kit like this. I don't know if I ever made any kind of model ships or anything when I was a kid, but definitely not any kind of figures. So we're gonna see what's in this kit. It says 70s girls, but I can totally turn these girls into an 80s style figure. All right, so we have this little teeny little kit. I'm gonna use super glue. I'm not sure if there's a better choice. I have 2 girls in this kit. Let's go with the dress figure. So today is about experimentation. So we have hair. So let's go for this. So we got this parchment paper down here, so hopefully I won't glue anything to my desk. Gonna go with super glue. Guys, I've never done this. This is just trial for me. I have not researched how to put a kit together other than watching YouTube videos and just like casually watching. For this project, I have not researched. We're just gonna go for it and see how we end up. That's her head. I do like the facial features on this. Is why I picked these. There's actual facial features. It's not just a blob, as I see in some models. Should I have sanded first? How long does it take super glue to dry? I thought super glue dried really quickly. Okay, we're gonna add this arm in. Alexa, how long does it take super glue to dry?
Super glue sets in about 15 to 30 seconds, but takes about 24 hours to fully cure.
Okay. We're gonna let this sit for a bit. This is kind of fun. She has a little hand that I gotta put on. In the picture, she's holding a purse, and I don't think I'm gonna have her hold a purse. Okay, so far, so good. Let's let her dry. Let her dry. Good morning, friends. It's the next day in my world. There's my lady. Overall, I think she's pretty cute. We do need to do some sanding here and there because her feet didn't line. That could have been me not sanding it enough. But her feet didn't quite line up properly. There's some weird little transitions in her hairline, but I think I can add some epoxy and fix that right up. This foot doesn't look too bad, but this foot, the transition is funky. We're gonna put her aside for now. And what I have to show you next is Epoxy Sculpt. I am going to try sculpting with epoxy. I've never done it before. This is just something I found on Amazon. I have no clue if this is good stuff or not. You have about 45 minutes to an hour of working time once you mix part A and part B together, depending on temperature in your workshop. Cold, longer working time. Hot, shorter working time. Well, we're in the basement and it's chilly down here, so maybe I'll have a little bit more working time. Let's get my tools out. We have the epoxy, we have gloves, toothpicks. So let's get out all my teeny little sculpting tools. The littlest things we could find. We have some silicone shapers, we have some ball stylus, we have a toothpick. I guess the only way to start is to start, guys. First, let's get these opened. Oh, semi-gloss finish. Oh, not a fan of glossy texture. Try to use some flat or matte paint. I'm going to use this as size reference. I feel like she's still a little small for 1/24 scale, but I think she's close enough. All right, let's try. I'm nervous because I've never done stuff. Let's see what this stuff looks like. Part A. Okay, it's white. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that smells awful. That doesn't smell, but that smells. I'm not sure if that's normal. Okay, let's use, since I have a bunch of these little doodads, let's get gloves on. It came with these like cheapo gloves. I wonder where my gloves are. You know what? Gloves, where are you, my gloves? Gloves, gloves, gloves. All right, I don't think I can handle those gloves. These are a little bit better. I still need to find smaller gloves. Tell me, guys, if this looks right. Close enough. Once I have it mixed, I'm going to take off my gloves because I don't think I could sculpt with gloves on. And you know what? In the little picture that they show when they advertise it, the person's not wearing gloves. We'll get back to you guys when I mix this. Okay, we are fully mixed. I'm just going to try to go with a head because I want to see if I can get enough details on a head. I'm going to try to make it same size as this girl or close to it. Now this is the smallest face I've ever done. Wish me luck, everybody. I do like the details of this girl, but am I going to find all the right characters for my house? I need the mom and dad, which I can seem to be able to find moms. I need an older daughter, which I could use that. But then I need a dad and I need a couple kids. And those are the ones I haven't been able to find. There's men out there, but they're usually in some type of superhero, like as far as kids go. I found superhero or like some kind of worker. And I just like want a regular guy. I'll keep looking. I just kind of want a regular guy that I can turn into this 80s dad. But if I get like approximations of these guys and then paint them and then add, we might be able to make it work with little sculpting guys. This guy I'm just going to keep poking and prodding. What happens if you add water to this stuff? Does that help smooth? The eyes in that way. I mean, it doesn't have to be like the most detailed. So we have a little face. I'm not going to mess with this anymore. I mean, it's a little face. So let's put that aside. We're going to let that harden. Now, is this still workable? So I also usually make some type of armature. These guys are so little, we don't need that, I don't think. But I'm going to use this toothpick as the base so I can have something to hold on to. I'm thinking I like the water. I don't know if it's the right idea. So right now, I'm just trying to get a basic shoulder shape that I can work from. She can be all neck. That's all right. She works out. She likes to go to jazzercise. What is that song? The workout
Name
song?
that
I think of
80s
that one.
song.
I've got it in my head, but I can't say it out loud. It's at the tip of my tongue. All I can think of is Xanadu. Then I can think of Grease. I'm thinking of is I'm so excited. But that's like Pointer Sisters or something. No, that's like Debbie Gibson. Jump for my love. Jump in. Who's that? That Pointer Sisters again? Oh, I know. Let's get physical. Physical. I want to get physical. We'll just say it's a workout song. How do you join the two together smoothly? Maybe it's just drying out now. Then we got a little character base to work off from. I'm going to take a break. I am the worst when it comes. I have a hard time putting things down. Okay. There. Pause. So we have our little friend here, nice and hard. It's the next day. I'm going to kind of work my way down, move on from her head for now, and try to make an outfit. So I want her to have a little collar because, you know, what shirt doesn't have an awesome collar in the 80s? Let's see if we can get a little collar going. And using this other one for scale. Starting to get somewhat of a shoulder shape. It does take on all my fingerprints, but I can sand it once it's dry. We're just going to keep going and we're going to keep trying. So I don't know if my typical polymer clay would be easier to use than this. I just don't know. Get some sort of start of the arm here. Want some kind of blousey shape. We'll work from that and see where we go. Still looking a little masculine. I made up some new clay, and I just gonna play around with her hair. This figure I'm thinking might be the mom. She's got some big 80s hair. Here's my lady so far. I think we're getting a good little 80s vibe. We're getting the right proportions, I think. Pretty close. You go there. You're gonna harden. I'm not gonna mess with you anymore. Hi, friends. This has actually been quite a few days for me. My kids had the week off from school for school vacation, and so we had some family time. So I'm back at it. I have my two ladies here, the plastic kit and my DIY. I also got some clubs that are small that fit. I think I could manage a little bit better with those. So what I'm going to do is work on the rest of the body. I think I'm going to give her some pants for this look. Let me get out my Epoxy Sculpt. Use this girl for approximate scale. And let's just do that. We've got some fun 80s fashions that I like that would be fitting to a 80s mom. I kind of like these kind of like pleated pants. So let's see if we can make something similar to that. Now, if this turns out to be my mom, or maybe it's a friend, who knows? We're going to sculpt it as if it was going to be the mom in my scene. Sorry, my friend. I need to lose you.
Although I'm going to be showing epoxy sculpt, a lot of what I'm going to say will apply to epoxy clay in general.
All right, we had to watch a little bit of The Craftsman. He is one of my favorite YouTubers. I just could listen to him all day. So he said in his video that you can use water to smooth it. So I am going to go ahead and do that. He is The Craftsman. He knows what he's talking about. He uses the Epoxy brand stuff, but he said it would work similar, like epoxy as in A-P-O-X-I-E, epoxy, not epoxy as in E-P-O-X-Y. But he says it works, it's similar. This is, I think, just a certain brand. So I'm going to go with his recommendations of using the water to help smooth. And I will link the video that I'm watching of his in my description. As you know, I am trying out this Epoxy Sculpt for the first time. I am a polymer clay user, and I'm not patient. So the wait for things to harden is not my jam. But that's okay. We're always going to try new things, but I got her nice high-waisted pants started, put her aside, let her harden, and in the meantime, I love using one of these little pin things. So if you like something, how it works, like if you like to use a pin, but you want a bigger handle, let's make ourselves a new handle. We got a tool with some weird texture that might make some kind of cool texture in the future, and we're gonna set that aside. So I started these legs, and I probably should have, they're not the right shape yet, but this is a base, and I probably should have done the whole leg shape at once. You can always add to it, but once I add, I start motioning around. This will be her partial legs, and then we're gonna have to harden again. We'll get there. We got a little bit of a pose here we're gonna work with. Will I be working with Epoxy Sculpt again for a figure? I don't think so, guys. To maybe combine figures like this type of thing with a kit, adding to it. But to do a full figure, I think takes too long to dry. I prefer polymer clay. You just can't harden and add and harden and add. You gotta wait. So, I added heat to it and I just made it like melt. I don't know. I was thinking because it said it dries faster when it's warmer. So I was like, ooh, if I add heat to it, can I make it dry super fast? No, that's not a good idea. He's sloppy. This is just a stamping clear block. I added some paper to it so it won't stick. And we're just going to try to shape her a little bit on our block. Okay, friends, 80s question of the day. In the 80s, if you were around in the 80s when you were little, did you make up lyrics to current songs? So I am wondering if this was a song that was made up in my world or other people sang it. And let me know if you did this song as well. Let's go. We are the worms. We are the ones who make a squishy mess. When you walk on, there are people walking. Oh, and they're trying to watch their step, or they'll make a squishy sound. Was that made up in my world, or did other people sing that song? Here's the dilemma with wanting to be on the timeline. Is I wanted to get this video out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I can't do the epoxy clay that fast. We'll let that guy harden. So we have this portable airbrushing. This is a Nerdy Crafter kit. I do not use it much, and the reason why is the paints that were supplied are glossy paint. I'm not a fan of glossy paints on my sculptures, so I haven't really used it much. I could use the glossy paints and then put a matte varnish over them to tone down the gloss. But if I'm working in layers and whatnot, I haven't quite figured that out. So I'm going to attempt to make my own paint. Well, I don't know if I'm going to clog up my little machine. I have some black acrylic. This is matte. It looks glossy on camera, but it's matte. And I'm going to do half equal parts and some distilled water. Looks pretty good. Let's give her a little spray. First coat, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think this is doing an overall nice coat. The reason I wanted to use my airbrush is just because of the nice thin coat on it. It makes a nice thin coating. Does that make sense? Am I saying that right? You get my drift. All right, my friends, I feel really happy with that base coat. Corpse. She's gonna be corpse. So let's start adding some detail paints. I already started a little bit testing out this color, and I'm just gonna continue painting her the best to my ability. Let's see if we can give her a dot of brown in the eye area. It's so hard to see, but we're getting there, we're getting there. I think I want her to have a red dress. This part's gonna be white. Oh, she's kind of like Little Orphan Annie. I just realized that. So last night I messed with her pants and legs some more. I wanted to try to get some of this done as quick as possible. Her legs aren't perfect. Her pants aren't perfect. This is experimentation. I think it's pretty cute. So I'm gonna give her the same black coat as I gave the other girl. She's right here. She might need another coat of red. So she has her nice black base. And we're gonna go in with that same color we used for our kit girl. I'm gonna work on her hair a little bit. The face is giving me trouble, so step away from that. All right, the face is super hard to capture. We got our pinky maroony pants, which I like. I went for this like mustardy, yellowy shirt. I'm not feeling it, so I'm gonna go ahead and I wanna add blue. Okay, friends, let's talk about pros and cons to these projects. I'm extremely happy that I experimented with these things. Both of them I actually really like. The kit has lots of pros. The kit was super easy to put together, super easy to paint. The cons are, am I gonna find all the characters I want? Am I gonna get all the dynamic poses I want? I could probably kit bash, move things around, and work that if I found characters that look close enough to what I want. The pros to my DIY is I can make any character I want, any look I want, any shape I want. Epoxy clay. Don't think I'll be using that to sculpt again because the drying time for where I work, I think had a lot to do with it being in the basement. Took forever. I don't think I'll be using that for a whole sculpture again, but definitely to change up a pre-existing type of kit. Like I added some hair texture to her head, to make little things, to do lots of other things. I'll definitely be using the epoxy clay. I'm going to try again making some of these minifigures out of polymer clay, which is my go-to, and see how I do. I could definitely need to improve on the facial features. I made her nose a little too high, but I could sand that off and fix it. So that's just that's a small, definitely can work on smoothing out her clothes and whatnot. But again, small blips. I'm really happy with both these girls, and they both might end up in my 1980s house. The mom hair I love. The mom outfit I love. I think that was fun to do. I could just, with polymer clay, since I'm more familiar with it, I think I can do a neater job of it. I could also work on the face features a little bit better. I think they're both great. I would definitely do versions of both. I'm going to keep my eye out for more of these half-scale kits, and I'm going to make some more of my DIY minis, but out of polymer clay. So that is the plan, guys. Some projects I'm thinking of coming up next. I need to do Gamork. He's the scary wolf in the Neverending Story series, so I think I might do him next. I have ideas for a spring type witch that I want to add to my witch coven. And I do have another miniature kit turned whimsical idea in the works as well. So those are some upcoming projects that I'm going to be working on soon. So stay tuned for all those videos. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this experiment in miniatures, and we'll see you next time. Bye.